Good day, Lords and Ladies, and welcome back to Shadowrun Dragonfall. Now, yeah, we had some issues. Any postman information? Nope. Keywords. F-state protection. The Ritter has an on good authority that the Syndicate is eyeing Skirnest for expansion for the good of Flux. We should keep a watchful eye on this situation. See attached files for more details. Okay, bad news for the Nest, but if Rumbrook isn't going to stop them, I have Soft is out of the picture. Well, I'm sure there's some Polar Club out there who wants a piece of that pie. I know we've got enough of them. I know that Humanist has some presence there, but I doubt they'll fight the Russians too much. I'd say we're far more likely to form a partnership. Energy sources. I've got solar panels like everybody, but does anyone have an explanation to those mana turbine services? I'm off the grid, so there's some time when I need to do some late night decking or maintenance on my telephone, on my telescopic limbs. Is that the thing where a mage comes by and drops some juice into a generator? My buddy was telling me about them last week. The turbines spin the mana around and charges last for weeks, he says. They're a scam chummer. That mage is going to be out there with your money before you realise how much power you've actually got. You're better off peddling a bike battery. Okay. So with the money we have, I've got 5 karma points. Alright. We've got int up quite high. Can't get any of those things up. Charm is as high as it's going to go. So the question is, what do I want to put into next? Drone control or drone combat, or we could save up and go straight for decking 7. Okay. Well, let's just quickly look at our character. Intelligence is 9 for checks. Charisma is 7. Right. Okay, that's everything there. Then I don't think there was anybody outside we could talk to. Outstanding missions. Harrow's compound is going to be fun. Right. Uniform gear wise, got A-rated drone already. We own this as +1 intelligence, decking. We'll grab another one of those. I'll throw that on. I might actually need to go to the doctor and buy some more medkits. So you're going to use your all sparkle mischief. Hey there, how you been? Could be worse, you say? Can't always be well, mind Fräulein. Stay safe. Okay, so he's got no more information to say. Okay, so we've already talked to everyone. Now, if we're going into the next mission... Yeah, if we're going into the next mission, I can't upgrade anyone, can I? No. Fine. And I think we've talked to everyone. Rightio. Yeah, then we just get straight into it. I'm putting it off because it's going to be unpleasant. Because we prioritize taking out the cult leader rather than saving the kids. But the problem is that if the cult leader gets away, he'll just start again. Right, so we can only take her. Okay. Frostella. You drive from the bazaar to the sunburnt forest. It was a long one. For over 6 hours you and Glory rode in relative silence, if only the sounds of the road for company. Now you find yourself encroaching in the woods, watching, waiting. Off in the distance, the rustic exterior of Frostella looks curiously warm and inviting, but you know what's waiting inside. The anticipation churns your guts like a living thing. Eventually a van pulls up out of the compound's driveway and rolls along the service road before disappearing from view. Glory gives you a nod and begins scrambling forward. Harrow has left the building. It's time for you to make your way inside. I mean, this is the thing. In the perfect situation, we save all the kids and kill Harrow. Thus, we can deprogram them from the cult and kill him to stop him getting more. The problem is, if we just save the kids and deprogram him, he'll run off. His master may or may not kill him, but if he starts up again, he'll be more secretive and secure. But if we just kill him and let the kids go, the kids will probably just spread out and cause even more trouble. So it's like half of one, half a dozen of the other. Right, we've got that and a bunch of repair gear. We're okay. Pistol isn't great, but I don't see much other options. And she's all tied down with healing gear, so we're just going to have to do it like this. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I know. Okay. The withered Ephesus of Hull Stella looms above you, dark and sinister in the chill night air. Despite the horrifying stories that Glory told you about this place, something about it feels strangely comforting. In the back of your mind, insidious voices whisper that you could stay here forever. Do you feel it? The lure of this place? Glory gestures to a limb of chrome and steel. When I was a kid, when I was whole, the pull was irresistible. Yeah, I feel it, but it doesn't change what we have to do. No, it don't. No, it doesn't. She looks at you, her eyes dark. When she speaks again, her voice is quiet but steady. You're going to see some terrible things in this place, Black Knight. Full Stella exerts its prey on the young, and we're going to have to come face to face with that. Are you sure you're prepared for this? When you say the young, how young do you mean? I need to know what we're walking into. Don't worry about me. I'm solid. Okay, when you say the young, how young do you mean? Teenagers, mostly 16 for 18, though there's their exception. So not that young then, not children. There was a time when Harrow played with luring younger children here, but he found them to be more trouble than they were worth. The younger the child, the more likely that someone might come looking for them. Better to stick with the lost, desperate souls who already spent years on the streets, the cast-offs that nobody cares about. Lord knows there are enough of them out there. So I ask you again, are you ready for this? I need an honest answer. I'm ready as I'm gonna be, you say. She studies your face for a moment, then looks away. Good. We want to compare notes, make sure, but we're both on the same page? Yes. We take Harrow out of commission. You were right when you said that we couldn't afford to let him live. Even if we completely destroy this place, it will be for nothing if they get away. He just start another cult somewhere else. We'll kill Harrow, yeah, but I think we should try to save the cultist here too. Planning on that would be a mistake. This is going to be difficult enough as it is. If we don't focus on effects on one thing or the other, we're going to fail at both. If we get an opportunity to rescue some of the cultists along the way, we'll take it. That goes without saying, but barring that, we should stay focused on killing Harrow. Fair enough. We stick with the plan of killing Harrow. Do you know how you want to approach this? This is the thing that's really frustrating. It's like, oh yeah, like, because like you can from an RPG's perspective, like it's like, oh, the good thing is to save the cultists, because they are innocent. It's like, yeah, but if he gets away, he's just going to be even worse. Okay, fair enough. We stick with the plan and kill Hal. Do you know? Do you know how to approach it? Like, if we get an opportunity to rescue some of the cultists along the way, we take it. This is what I think. We should try and save some of them, but Harrow is the main issue. Yeah, we're going to take out the shrine that Harrow uses for his power focus. We can't touch him while that thing is standing, but after we bring it down, it'll be vulnerable. Tell me more about the shrine. It's a lump of rock that is about as tall as I am, inscribed with runes and encrusted with bone. The shrine's power comes from the entity that Harrow bound into the stone, something very old and very dangerous, a very toxic spirit. In many ways, it is the heart of this place. We can't touch Harrow while the shrine is intact. If we try, he'll siphon enough power from it to slaughter us where we stand. But if we can confront the shrine and kill the spirit, the astral backlash with death will cripple him, and all we have to do is finish him off. Let's have something more details before we head inside. So we make our way to the shrine, then what? Take it out with explosives. What about the other cultists? We'll save any we can, but the entity released when the spirit dies will hurt them too. Anyone whose mind is touched will take a hit. Doesn't that mean the backlash will hit us too? We've only just arrived. The spirit hasn't had a chance to worm its way into our aura yet. We might black out for a minute or two, but otherwise we should be fine. As for me, well, like I said, this place can't touch me anymore. I'll take your word for it. So we make it to the shrine, and then what? Take it out with explosives. Breaking the rock won't work. We have to take on the spirit directly, tracking it to where it lives and killing it. He pats the satchel that hangs from a soda. I've bought what we need to do that. I can't tell you exactly what this is going to go down, Black Knight. The spirit itself will have a good deal of control over that, but you better pay yourself, because I think this is going to be one hell of a fight. If this shrine is so important, why didn't you mention it earlier? When I lived here, Harrow barely used the thing. To be honest, I think he was afraid of it. Back before I ran away, Fulster was nothing more than a cult of personality revolved around Harrow. He didn't need magical help to keep us here. We loved him, and we believed in his message. He created the shrine as insurance policy. And you think that something has changed, that he started abusing the shrine's power. You see? She nods, yeah, and I think that my escape was the cause of that. I know Harrow. When I ran, I bruised his ego. His charisma and charm had failed him, and my disappearance rubbed his nose in that failure. He wouldn't be willing to change something like that happening again, not when he had the means to prevent it. So the cultists here, they're like puppets, the shrine controls them? Not exactly, it's more insidious than that. Think of the shrine as the influence of a drug. It lowers your inhibitions, makes you complacent. If you were to stay here for a couple of days, you'd fall in love with this place and wouldn't even know why. All Harrow's bullshit would start to make sense. You'd be happy. So it's basically indoctrination for Mass Effect. In essence, all the cultists here are addicted to this place. That makes them a threat, yes, but also makes them victims. This is the irony thing, is like, it's on the surface it sounds like indoctrination for Mass Effect, but like as it was explained in Mass Effect, indoctrination is basically nanites. Right, let's see. Let's get moving. She nods and the razors flick out of her fingernails. I'm with you, let's do this. Okay, get to the shrine. Keep glory safe. We're going to put a cut in, because this is going to get nasty fast. Okay. Okay. So this is the thing. Like, I don't know how they expect us to save the cultist, because if there's a backlash, it's just going to be a pain. Okay. Nice and quiet. Okay, that's locked. The moment we hit that, it's going to cause seals to go off. Can't we? Lots of rooms. The thing is, the moment we hit that mission objective, everything will go out the window. There's a van. Glory pauses at the side of the van. He traces the side of it with a claw. I remember cruising the back alleys of Turbigan, looking for kids in need of help. The bait girls, Martha and the others like her would offer them money or food or drugs or sex, whatever it would take to get them in the van. Once we piled in, Hara and I would be waiting through greeting arms. I remember so many nights like that. She frowns. I remember how much I used to enjoy it. You're not the same person that you were back then. Leave the past in the past. Coming back here shows integrity, Glora. Most runners that I know wouldn't have done what you were doing tonight. Left my own devices I probably wouldn't have. You pushed me to do this, to find some semblance of redemption. I owe you for that. Don't thank me until we're safely back in the bazaar. We still don't know what's going to turn out. She nods. That's probably wise. There's still a long way to go. Speaking of which, we should keep moving. Okay. I mean, can't we just, like, slash the wheels? You hear voices speaking low tones through the wooded door. You can't make out the words, but the regular chorus of rough laughter tells you that the people on the other side are enjoying themselves. Those voices belong to Hara's acolytes. They might have some magic training, and they like to hurt people. You open the door, and we're going to have a fight on our hands. How do you know they're acolytes? Process of elimination. Initiations aren't allowed in that room. It's one of Hara's rules. On the rare occasion that an initiate is invited in, he usually doesn't come back out again. What happens in there? Her mouth tightens. It's a sort of lounge for Hara's inner circle, the acolytes and the bait girls and Hara's wives. Marta and I used to spend a lot of time in there. So if you're kicking that door, it's going to be a fight. Okay. This is the initiation dormitory. The new arrivals are brought here. There's still hope for these kids, but night Harrow hasn't had a chance to ruin them yet. Good to know. We will try to get them out of here. Lewis' hand suddenly let wait. Listen, movement in the other room. You strain your ears to listen. Soft voices from inside the room comes drifting out from the nearby vent. Your own voice, the sound is crisp and smooth and sweet. Instantly puts you at ease. Calm now, dear. It's probably nothing. We need to worry with yourself. We're so far off the beaten track, we don't get a lot of visitors. Out of the corner of our eye, you can see Glory's back stiffens. He flinches as voice has been stung. Another voice, high-pitched, pleading, an adolescent boy. But what if it's someone? What if the bad people have found us? What if they followed me here? They've come to... The female's voice cuts in, soft and comforting. Well then, we'll send them away. It's perfectly safe here. You don't have to believe that. Don't worry, dear heart. Harrow won't let anyone hurt you. Not here in this place. Not ever again. You hear another boy's voice. This one is deeper. Are you certain, Marta? Positive. Be calm, all of you. As long as you are here with us, nothing will ever bad will ever happen to you. Is that your Marta, Glory? She gives you a nod, not mine, Harrow's, but she's the martyr for my story. What do you want to do? Glory pauses, grits her teeth. Finally, she spits out an answer. I don't know. If she's still here, she'll be Harrow's number one. My old position, he had this way with all of us, but he was always sweet on Marta. Part of me wants to kill her. She's the only reason why a lot of the kids wound up here, including me. She grits her teeth, and her razors flick out of her fingertips. Second later, she retracts them. But there isn't time. There isn't what we're here for. You're right, we can deal with Marta later after we accomplish what we've come here to do. Marta's voice floats back through the wall. Hush now, boys. Get some rest. You'll get a big day tomorrow, the biggest day of your lives. You get to meet Harrow. I promise you, after you've spoken with him, you'll see the whole world in a different way, a better way. The S in the voice trembles out of response. All right, Marta. Have a good night. A lovely musical laugh pours through the vent. You too, dear heart. All of you. You hear the distant sounds of a door slipping shut. Glory takes a deep breath and releases herself. Let's go, Black Knight. We need to deal with that shrine. Okay. The thing is, like, if we I get the feeling if we provoke the fight early, there's going to be a lot of bad stuff going on. Okay, some kind of food court. Refrigerator. As you open the fridge door, a whiff of ammonia stakes your nostrils. Watery light glints off the door's polished interior. The fridge is stacked full of large plastic bins, all tightly sealed and neatly labelled. It's hard to tell, though, the opaque plastic, but they appear to be full of meat. Inspect the containers. They pop the lid off the container and take a closer look inside. The first thing that hits you is the smell. The meat is here, is beyond rancid. White mould frost aside the bin, and all you can do is keep from gagging. As you rush to put the lid back on, you recognise the familiar shape of rotten flesh and mangled human hand. What the hell is this, Gloria? Gloria voices flat, rich with supplies. The adversary prefers them aged. Harrow teaches all the initiates how to do it, how to harvest the meat, how to store it, how to label it. Nobody likes doing it at first, but you learn. By the end of it, it didn't even bother you anymore. Gloria, did you ever do this? She fixes you with an emotional stare. I was Harrow's right-hand member. What do you think? I don't want to think about it. Then don't. He turns away from you. Come on, let's get moving. Oh great, if it's the crazy cultists, you're crazy enough already. Okay. Medical supplies. Yeah, send it to the stash. Okay, bathroom. There we go. Terminal. This appears to be a standard terminal. Logging prompts goes, hack the terminal. It looks as though the terminal is used exclusively for the financial transactions. After a bit of digging, you find a list of payoffs to local law enforcement, paid by Harrow, no doubt, to ensure that the police look the other way. Okay, and a large book. An astonishing large tome sits cradled on this pedestal. The paper is robust and fibrous, and the binding has been explicitly stitched. The steel plate running along the back of the book's spine anchors it in place into the pedestal. Gloria sits down at it, frowning. That's Harrow's manifesto, the handcrafted line of bullshit that he feeds to his initiates. We all ate it up with a smile and came away convinced that he was a genius. She leads through the page of an articulated finger. It looks like he's expanded over the years. It's at least twice as thick as it was when I lived here. Maybe there's something in here that we can use. I don't want to hang around long enough to find out. This is Harrow's personal library. He used to experiment in here. There was dangerous things in here, Black Knight, sick things. I was never allowed in the room without Harrow. Nobody was. He said that it was our safety, and I think he was telling the truth. He paused. I feel uneasy being in here. I don't want to stay any longer than we have to. Step away. I'm with you there. We can't afford to waste time either. Anyway, we should keep moving. I mean, it could be his grimoire, but the problem is, like, we're trying to be subtle about this and not, like, alert everyone we're here. Because as soon as we kill the spirit thing, it's going to really annoy everyone. You can hear distant murmuring sound coming from inside the void. Voices screaming before people talking amongst themselves. You can't make out what they're saying, but one of the voices sounds desperate. You hear the town before. It's the sound of a man pleading for his life. We should keep moving. Whatever's going on in there, we don't want to get involved. Getting involved is the entire reason we came here. Yes, it is, but we're here to kill Harrow, not the people he brainwashed. After we take on the shrine, the cultists in here will be hurt, disorientated. We can deal with them then, and hopefully save the poor bastard we're walking on. they're working on. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, we do need to deal with Harrow. Yeah, let's just go deal with him now. Because the moment we hit this door, the doorway simmers with bright light, and as you approach the door, you can feel its going to taste in the back of your skull. Your limbs begin to tingle, then feel heavy, and closer you get to the door, the more it struggles is to contain. Moving forward, you feel as though your strength is being siphoned from your body. Step back. You step away from the door, a crawling sensation gradually rescinds. A moment later, the strength returns to your limbs. Glory stares at the light, frowning. That's trying through there, but the barrier wasn't here before. How I must have warded the doorway after I ran. Fantastic. Now what? The ward is like a lock. There must be a key. A grimace across her face, and I know who has it. There's only one person that Howard would offer it to. Marta. She nods. Looks like we're going to have to confront her after all. The razor flicks out a finger. Let's go. I mean, it's either going to be here or it's going to be in the book. Problem is, I don't have the willpower, because I didn't invest in that, to go up against anything that's enchanted, so we're going to have to just do it the good old-fashioned way. Okay. Open the door. Here we go. The initiate closes the door, whispers his head up to you. He takes a step backwards in alarm and opens his mouth to help her cry out. You don't want to do that. Glory looks deep into the inside, fixing him. We're not here to hurt you. We're friends of Harrow's. Don't bother calling Master over. We're just going in here and have a word with her. The initiate eyes at you nervously. His gaze flirts to Glory, then follows to a 5 minutes. He swallows. Oh yeah, he takes back. You do that. Female initiate. The initiate's in the door, staring at Glory's limbs, her eyes wide, her mouth a little thing, probably somewhere in the vicinity of 17 years old, with purple contact lenses and sock of blue hair. She glances up at Glory, blinking. You used to live here, didn't you? I've seen your pictures before. Glory expression remains neutral. Really? I think so. I don't look at it long. It was in a room where I wasn't supposed to be in, but I'm pretty sure it was you. It probably was. You're right. I did live here a long time ago. I was like you back then, a scared kid brought here by Marta for a chance at new life. I like Marta. She's so nice. I always feel safe when I'm here. More adults aren't like that. They either don't notice you or they do the wrong thing, but Marta, she cares about us. There's a long pause. Can I ask you a question? Go ahead, ask away. Well, I overheard Matt talking with Mr. Harry yesterday. I think they're talking about our meeting with him, the one that Master's just telling us about, where we'll learn to see the world in a different way. Go on. Well, I couldn't really hear the whole conversation. It was all muffled, but what I heard was kind of weird. Mr. Harris said some stuff about a shrine, then it sounded like he changed to a subject because he started talking about dinner. Something about chopping up meat. Well, Marta just got really upset. She said they're too new, they're not ready. Make the older ones do it, stuff like that. But then Harrow said some other things, and then she calmed down again. Then he left. He was smiling, and so I was just wondering, do you know what they were talking about? I want to make sure that Marta is okay, but I can't ask her about it because I don't want her to find out that I was eavesdropping. I think I know what's Harrow's plan for you. Have you ever opened the fridge in the other room? No, why? Is that where we're going to make dinner? Glory cuts in, a voice gentle. I wouldn't worry about it. We'll make sure Marta is okay. All right, but don't tell her I told you, please. Don't worry, we won't. How long have you been here, by the way? Almost a week. She suffers her feet. Eventually she looks up with a smile. It's wonderful. Of course it is. So much nicer than living on the street, isn't it? Glory's face is the kid, and her tone is one of incredible sorrow. You'll be good, sweetie. Don't worry. We'll take care of Marta. The guy smiles sleeplessly and steps back. As he passes by her on the way, Glory shoots you a sidelong glance. It's like I thought. Things have changed in the past few years. How so? Back when I lived here, Hal would never have let such a fresh convert prepare a sacrifice. He'd wait until she was in so deep, but he felt so indebted to him that she couldn't turn tail and run. It was a rule. You let newcomers get settled for a month, maybe two, before teaching them the more unsavory aspects of cult life. Even then, you started them off slow. The first lessons would use pork or chicken, never human meat. That never came until much later. Indoctrinating a new recruit after a week is risky as hell, and he never would have done it when I lived here. Maybe he's getting cocky. The shrine, he's using it to brainwash the initiates faster than he used to. She nods. That's what I'm thinking. Harrow's getting lazy, letting his captive spirit do the heavy lifting for him. So what does that mean for us? I'm still working on that, but I don't think the shrine is just a tool for Harrow anymore. I think he relies on it. He's using it as a crutch. She cocks her face head slightly, a thoughtful expression on her face. I think that he's let himself become dependent on the damn thing. That girl is never going to have to do what we saw back in that kitchen. We won't let that happen. She nods, a fierce look in her eyes. On that, we are agreed. Martha has just won the other side of the door. However this goes, you're going to have to move quickly afterwards. If she dies, Harrow will know it, and then I don't trust her to keep her mouth shut if she lives. So we take the key to the shrine room, break through the wall, and confront the spirit. Are we clear on that? Open the door. Crystal clear. Let's do this. I don't think there's anywhere else here that we can go. No. So we've got the garage, like the people's rooms here, kitchen. Yeah, okay, so like, this is about to go down. Let's go. The woman in the room is lovely. Full lit contrasts artfully with her fine Elvis features, and tumble of red hair spills down on the shoulders. Beyond the physical beauty, there's something inherently approachable about her. She exudes an almost palpable aura of kindness and warmth. Marta, Glory's old lover, the lure that Harrow used to draw her and so many others to fool Stella. She looks up at you with a start of sound of your approach. Her eyes go wide at sight of Glory as she takes in her side where her mouth falls open in horror. Glory? Yes, Marta, it's me. Glory's voice is cold. It's been a long time. It has. Marta swallows. Her horrified look hasn't left her face. What have you done to yourself? What I had to do to get out, Marta. This is the only way. Oh, Glory. At once, the horror on Marta's face is placed with an expression of profound sorrow. I am so sorry. Marta steps forward, her arm extended to wrap Glory in a hug. All at once, something in Glory's face changes. Her skin goes from pale to pallid. Her breath becomes ragged. She takes a step back and raises her claws in defensive posture. Her voice frosts over a cold of rage. You touch me. You're one of Harrow's creatures. You always were. Marta stops short. One of his creatures, Glory? What are you talking about? You ain't fooling anyone. Glory told me about you, how you tricked her into coming here. Yeah, let's go that one. She looks generally hurt. I didn't trick anyone. Harrow and I rescued her from a life on the street. A beautiful girl, homeless, painless, living in the gutter. I put her away from all that. I saved her. You saved me? Saved me? If you'd left me where you found me, I never would have hurt anybody. My mother would still be alive. I never would have sold my soul to that abomination that you all worship, and I wouldn't have had to sacrifice my own body to escape from it. This place took everything from me, and it all started with you. Please, Glory, please calm down. We'll talk this through. I still love you. Razor flickers out of Glory's fingertips. Her lip curls into a snarl. Another lie. The last one you've got to tell. I don't think she's lying, or at least she doesn't think so. She believes what she's saying. But of course I try. Prove it to you. The words come steaming out of her eyes. Her fixed and gaze is razors. Ask me whatever you want. I'll show you that I'm telling the truth. I never wanted anything bad to happen to you, Glory. Not ever. She will face you while you're listening to her. She's just telling you what you want to hear. That's the whole purpose here, remember? She's bait. Why should we listen to anything she has to say? Knowing how the shrine is affecting her mind might help us, Glory. She fumes at you, but for a moment you might be right. Master looks from Glory, a confused expression on her face. Her voice goes quiet. There's nothing wrong with my mind, Glory. I don't even understand what you are talking about. Of course, like I say, if we had street etiquette, it would have been fine. You understand the interest in learning more about this Black Knight, but we're wasting time. We need the key. If Hara gets back here before we're dealt with that shrine, we're fucked. I want to know everything we can about this place. If she wants to talk, let her. If we had street, this would be fine, but I can't pick up etiquette. Can I? Yeah. Alas. We want to know everything we can about this place. If she wants to talk, let her. Gloria stares at you for a moment and a naked hostility on her face, then erases slides back into housing. We click. Alright, Master, start talking. What do you want me to say? You can start by telling me how you sleep at night. You know what happens to those kids you'll bring here. You know what happened to me. But you're still luring them into Hara's clutches all those years later. So tell me, how do you live yourself? Explain to me. For a moment you can see the conflict behind Master's eyes. If cognitive dissonance has a face, it would be hers. Confused, frightened, angry, at war with herself. For a moment she struggles to speak. Then the whispering sensation that you felt outside the compound comes back and her face changes. The muscles on her brow reflect and she appears to be at peace. What are you asking me, Viscora? You already know the answer. The kids here, they aren't being hurt. They're walking the path to free and pure light, just like Hara taught us. The shrine is whispering to her, Gloria. I can feel it too. She's blissed out of it, like you said. I haven't been in less than an hour and I've already found evidence of horrific levels of abuse. She flinches in agitation, but you hear the whispering again, and calms herself. She just joyful smiles widens. Nothing has happened here without reason. Hara is a great man of prophet. When you meet him yourself, you'll understand. He'll make you see. She's too far gone to praise what you're saying, Black Knight. After so many years of living here, I don't even know if she even knows what normal feels like anymore. She steps forwards and grabs Master by the shoulder in a curious soft glance to Master. If that is what you're saying is true, if you really did care about me, then this place, give me the key. It's important. Key? Whatever you use to get past the walls outside the Hara's shrine. I need it. Don't ask why, just do this for me. You owe me that much. And if we had academic, we could do that. She looks at you momentarily conflicted in the moment it passes. No, Hara said I had to guard this. He told me, but I could never take it off. I won't question one of Hara's orders. It would be wrong. You questioned him about what he was planning on doing with those initiates back there. Was that wrong? That was different. She blinks, then whispers of sound return, soft, instant, and flickering of unease, and her face is replaced. You wouldn't understand, but maybe you could explain to me. Maybe if you could answer my questions, I'd be able to see the light. She nods eagerly. Yes, please go on. Ask the questions, I'll explain everything, and you'll see for yourself how perfect and right our way really is, how beautiful it can be. Hara's hurting the runaways that you bring here. You can see that, can't you? He smiles, shifts into expressing the mock concern. Hurting how so? He's corrupting you all. How many of them has he taken as wise? He's going to make the initiates, the young initiates, like the girl in the next room, do something horrible. Her smile slowly fades. That girl, such a sweet young thing. I arrested her for a bad place, Gory. Her and the boys in the dorm as well, but they're all safe now. Isn't that important? Are they? You know what I'm talking about, Master. The harvest. The meat. Master blinks. She looks momentarily confused, and then she sees the conviction clamped down behind her eyes. It's regrettable, yes, but it happens for a good reason. The sacrifice keeps us safe here. Safety is something that lots of those kids have never known. The initiatives have to learn about these things that are done here. We have our responsibility. Do you have anything else to say? Any of the other examples of how is supposedly hurting us to wave into my face? If you do it, I'm all ears. He's corrupting all of you. How many of them has he taken as his wise, yourself included? She rolls her eyes. A lesson in Puritan values from a Shadowrunner. How quaint. This isn't about you. I don't care about you, what you do, Master. It's about child abuse. Harrow doesn't take your young ones for wise. I don't know what Glory told you, but he isn't a monster. And even if the youngest Initiates aren't children, not really have always go soft, life on the street took that from them a long time ago. Falstella lets them be themselves, but it's a soft place, certainly safer than the back alleys of some urban hellhole like the ones you live in. I was young when he chose me, Martha, maybe not innocent, but young. Somewhere deep down you know that this is wrong. When you lived with us, you didn't think it was wrong, you loved it. You can write history that casts yourself as the victim if you want, but demonizing me helps. If demonizing me helps, you can do that too, but nobody ever forced you to do anything, Glory. Glory falls silent, the colour drains from her face. This is clearly a difficult subject. I don't know what you were hoping to achieve with bringing it up, but I promise you, you aren't going to convince me to abandon my way of life. Our ways are our own. You can't change that. All that you can do is accept it and move on. I can see that Harrow has brainwashed you into thinking that is okay, but Marta, it isn't. You don't know when to give up, do you? Our ways aren't yours, but doesn't give you the right to judge me. Who else imposed your ideology on this commune? An outsider, someone who hasn't been corrupted by Harrow, his pet spirit. I'd say that qualifies me. A person with a functioning sense of right and wrong. All right, I'm not going to stand here and listen to you try to justify herself. An outsider, someone who hasn't been corrupted by Harrow, his pet spirit. I'd say that qualifies me to offer an opinion. I tell you what you are. You're the kind of person that Harrow has always warned us about. Your sense of moral outrage doesn't trump your right to live the way we choose. She takes a deep breath, struggles to calm herself. If you're more accusations to holler at me when my husband, go ahead and do it. I tell you you're wrong as you are. I prefer to keep the conversation civil, but that's up to you. Give us the amulet, Marta. It's the right thing to do. Let's go with that one. Oh yes, I'll give it to you. She fishes the amulet out of her brooch, it dangles on the thing. Here, it's all yours. Put it on the floor and step back. I don't trust you. Alright, fine. If that's how you want it, then so be it. She swings the amulet off her chain. If you want this, you're going to have to kill me for it. Insistent and attack persistent when she speaks. Her voice is unsteady. I'm sorry that it came to this, Marta, but you're too far gone to say. If you want to fight, I'll give you one. I don't want this, Glory. I wish I could have come out of this friends, but you haven't convinced me of anything. I have made a promise to protect with my life. Best of luck with that. I won't need luck outside. Harrow, my husband, taught me how. She stares at Glory. Her eyes are sad. She raises her hands and she begins to glow. See for yourself. Okay. Let me guess. These guys are going to turn hostile. You missed from there? Are you kidding me? I suppose I should have really done the target thing. Man, she's tough. Here we go. Gotta take her out, she's the problem. Don't want to do this, but... Glory stands staring at the red ruin of Ra's body. Her eyes flit down her claws and an expression of growing horror creeps on her face. You okay, Glory? It takes a long time to respond. Her voice is coked with long, dormant emotion. No, I'm not. I'm sorry, but it had to be done. She snarls. Out and out her face, her flushed red. Yes, I know. She was just as bad as how. Killing her was the right thing to do. To astonishment, you see her eyes welling with tears. Glory. All at once, the blood drains from her cheeks. Her hand wipes the water from her eyes with a cold metal hand. Save your consolation speeches. I'm over it. Her voice is frigid, dead. She nods direction to the shrine room. We've got what we came for. Let's go. Yeah, this is going to be the thing now. Everyone is going to be pissed at us. But the problem is, like, I didn't have the right etiquette. You monster, you killed Marta. Can't be helped. How is going to get you? I see. You'll see. I mean, this is the problem. Like, maybe if we had gone into the other rooms and done stuff like that, we could have done something, but this is just how the game goes. I didn't pick up street etiquette. I didn't think it was important enough. I picked up corporate, I picked up security, maybe I should have picked up, like, when was the next one we could have picked up? Charisma. I mean, this is the thing, you're never going to have all the dialogue options that you want, and kicking in the doors here and like interrogating everyone, I didn't have the willpower for this because I didn't want to try the book, because the way that you resist magic in this game is with will, and my willpower is terrible. So if I try and if I had a high willpower, we could just forced a way through the lock, but I didn't, and I wasn't going to be able to put 5 points in to get my will high enough. Not at this stage in the game. So we could have started a ton of fights. It's just how it is. I'm a bit annoyed because the last couple of like side missions, like character missions, haven't gone the way I've wanted them. Like the last one I was really frustrated with. The one with Iger, I felt really frustrated that like you had to have like a really high drone check to get that into that access the area, and it was still like, oh, it's a 50% chance. Like you either press one option and you get a good outcome, you press the other option and it's a bad outcome, and there's no way for you to, like, if you go down the bad route, there's no way for you to basically get out of it. Oh, and by the way, you need to have a really high stat in that area that's to do with drones, and it's about a drone. And I just found a bit frustrated by it, because it felt like, oh yeah, so I need to either have biotech, which is a pretty much useless stat to have, or I needed to... it just felt frustrating. I find it really annoying when games do that bait and switch where they go, oh, there's like a really high skill, like you had to have like a good skill level in this thing to get it to happen. It's like, oh, okay, fine, this is going to have a much better outcome. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a 50% chance that no matter what you do, you fail. So, I was hoping for a slightly better outcome, if we're being honest. I didn't want to really kill Marta, but like, unless we'd either reread the only way I can see it being different is that if we either read the book, had street etiquette, or broke down all these doors and basically confronted everybody inside, which we were being repeatedly told to was not a good idea. So that's just how it is. So next episode, folks, we are going to go and deal with the shrine. It's probably going to be a horrific fight. Probably a lot of innocent people are going to get killed as well, which is not great, and we'll see how that goes. I've been Cornish-knight, this has been Shadowrun Dragonfall, and I shall see you all again next time. Goodbye!